Hey, I realize I have done this all super backwards, but I had to laugh. That's what happens when you are doing the most. So let me cue music. Dr. Ericka. Hey. All I can do is chuckle. Hi, it's Dr. Ericka. Welcome to another episode of Growth Groove with Dr. Ericka. I'm so excited to be back. I've been gone a hot second. I had some vacation, some work. It was all the things. And the one thing I always pledge to you is I'm going to come to you with 100% my whole self and some energy. If I'm going to come to you with this kind of energy, I'm not going to come because that's not what you need from me. So welcome. I'm your host, Dr. Eric. I'm so excited to have you. Let's talk about what we're going to be talking about today. Today, we are talking about 5 lessons from Martha's Vineyard. Now, before we get to why we are talking about this, let's do a little housekeeping. First thing is let me know you are here. I'm excited to be here. Say a little hello in the chat and drop where you are watching from. The second is you know someone that needs this, please share. Next, if you know someone that needs this, please tag. The last thing is if you're watching it later, no worries. Just put hashtag replay in the comments. Let me know that you were here. I would just love to know that. That would just give me all the feels, a little love. You may hear a little background music. There's some rain. I feel like there are storms somewhat everywhere lately. And there are times lately where I feel like I don't live in Atlanta. I feel like I live in Seattle because it is raining all the time. Now, if I could just get some of that old school, it's raining men. You might see a little bit more pep in my step if it was raining men, but right now it's just rain and water. It's all good. Thank you all so much for coming. Keep the comments coming. I am excited to have you. So as I said before, we did the little housekeeping thing. And if you do not know me and this is your first time, welcome. So if you don't know me, I am your host, Dr. Ericka, Harvard-trained, double board certified psychiatrist and integrative lifestyle coach. I am extremely passionate about helping people be better, do better, and live better. I do that through my adult telepsychiatry. My books, including Fix Your Fairy Tale, A Woman's Guide to a Great Life, Love, and Legacy. My podcast, Better with Dr. Ericka, and my speaking. I do all this to help busy people like you. You show up for work. You show up for your friends. You show up for everybody. You don't show up for yourselves. I do all of this to put you back in your life. Are y'all ready? Let's do it. So some of y'all might be like, why are we talking about the vineyard? So the first thing is I will accept that there are going to be some people out there that are going to say I'm bougie because I go to the vineyard. You're not hurting my feelings because it was already officially declared that I was bougie the second I went to Spelman. We just don't fight it anymore. Don't fight it. But I get to go to the vineyard, and I'm going to tell you a little story as we go into this to give people a little chance to hop in. I did my child and adolescent psychiatry fellowship at Harvard, so I lived in Boston. I did not make it to the vineyard till years and years later. So yes, I'm the person that actually lived in Boston and didn't make it to the Cape or the vineyard. I just finally went to the Cape for the first time this year. So I may have lost a little bit of my Boston, Massachusetts card, but I spent so much time there that, I think people will forgive me. They know as much as I tried to say I wasn't coming back to Boston, the city I'm in the most after Atlanta is Boston. So you might be like, hey, why do you even go to the vineyard? So there are a couple of reasons to go to the vineyard. One is it is cool. Number 2 is I love going in August and just seeing this outrageous amount of beautiful Black people and Black talent. And I love how laid back it is that, you can pretty much, this year, I think I wore something other than sneakers or flip-flops once the entire time I was there. That it's just a really laid back situation that reminds me of one of the things I actually enjoyed about Boston. Like, y'all know, a lot of my adult life has been spent in Atlanta, otherwise known as the A, where there are all these cool places to go. The thing in Atlanta, the difference of being in Boston was some of the places weren't as cool. You didn't have all these destinations. It was the people. So it's the kind of conversations you had. And that's one of the things I love about the vineyard is it's a space where you end up having those conversations and just spending quality time. And I just really love it. Plus, I get to learn stuff. Like I learned stuff this year. I learned something every year. And this year I kind of Went to a few events with my good friend Wendy, so I probably didn't do quite as much relaxing as I always do. But let's go ahead and get to these lessons so I can get you out of here because I can't hold on to you forever. The first one is slow down. I don't know about you. I will speak to me a second. I'm one of those kinds of people that God gives me a message the first time and it's a polite little nod or tap like, hey, Dr. Ericka. Now, if I don't listen, it escalates pretty quickly from taps to little jabs and stuff. But then at some point, I feel like God's coming after me with a baseball bat. So let me tell you what happened. Like I've been getting these subtle messages, like I would just lose things around the house, misplace things. And I knew it was just because I was just moving too much. I was doing too much, moving too fast, not slowing down. So I was in the Vineyard. We were going to watch the sunset. And, you know, like when you're going to the beach and those kinds of places, a lot of times you may be parking on something that has rocks. Now, my friend brought her dog, cute dog, Duke, big ups to Duke. And I'm going to the back to help. I've got the dog's bottle of water, my bag, my phone and stuff in my hand. Doing too much. I dropped my phone. Whose phone lands face down in some rocks? Have you ever had your phone land face down on rocks or concrete? It's a horrible feeling because you see it go in slow motion and it's like all those commercials where they're like, no, and it falls. Well, I shattered my screen. So first thing is I'm rushing. I probably shouldn't have had all this stuff in my hand. I could have left it in the front seat, but no, I didn't. I tried to do everything one time, shattered my phone. The next day, we're starting to switch places, and I'm determined I'm going to strip my bed. I'm not going to be the person that did not strip my bed. Coming down the stairs, and if you have, the Vineyard reminds you of a lot of historic homes. So they're not laid out like squares. So you can effectively be coming downstairs and be coming at an angle and not have full height available. Now, those of you that have not seen me in full life, but you know, I'm not the tallest person. I'm 5'4.5". And Dr. Nima, I could have, someone could say, give me $1,000, yes or no. Do you have on a screen protector? And I was like, yes. Somehow or another, it wasn't on there. But honestly, the way it hit, I don't know if it would have protected it. But I discovered when I got it fixed that there was no screen protector on it, even though I have one somewhere in my house, apparently, because I remember getting it. So I'm coming down the stairs with, and this is the other issue. There's no logical reason I should have had all this linen in my hand at one time. I had sheets and a comforter and all this stuff in my hand. I shouldn't have. I hit my head, break my glasses, the earpiece, that little thing that goes across here, just flies down the stairs. So do my glasses. So, okay, broke phone, broke my glasses. Now, I did not have a spare pair of glasses, and this was a little bit critical because, as I said, some of y'all may know, I should not be able to see the big E. I had LASIK. So I had LASIK, but it was so long ago. I had my LASIK back in 2006. So I am getting nearsighted again. And it was going to be a huge problem if I'm in the Vineyard without glasses because they're in the crowds, I wouldn't be able to find my friends. So break my glasses. Get to the new house. And y'all know I'm good for drinking tea. This is one of my birthday cups. Thank you, Melissa. I had a cup of tea. Luckily, it was near the end. Somehow I dropped my AirPod into some tea. This all happened in a span of 24 to 48 hours. Glasses, AirPods, and my phone. Now, the good thing is after a little bit of effort, running around in Boston, and 2 Apple stores later, I got a phone. But all of this was God telling me slow down. So I was doing the most every single time I did something, except for I don't feel like I was doing the most when I dropped the AirPod. But the other things, I was doing the most. And, you know, to me, sometimes you have to listen that sometimes you have to slow down a little bit. And a lot of times we can slow down more than we do. There's just this internal pressure of feeling like there is so much to do. I get it. I know you get it too, where you feel like there's so much to do. You got to do it right now. After all those happened, I had to finally realize and remind myself, It doesn't all have to be done right now. There are times just now is not gonna be it. That sometimes you have to slow down, keeps you from carrying too much stuff and dropping stuff, forgetting to do stuff because you're rushing or just becoming exhausted. So the first thing I was reminded of is sometimes you just need to slow down. Plus, I was on vacation. If you're running constantly, you aren't rested. How many of y'all out there, put it in the chat, let me know. Are any of you those kinds of folks that need a vacation from your vacation? I'm just curious. Just let me know if you need a vacation for your vacation. Next lesson was fresh air rocks. There's nothing like fresh air. And one of the great things about being on the vineyard is you get that air from being by water. Now, y'all know I'm in Atlanta. I am landlocked. The only time I have water in the air is humidity. Baby, when I got back, it felt like I was in New Orleans. It felt like a sauna. It was hot, and a level of humidity typically is not here. But the only time you kind of get water in the air here is if it's humid, or if it's like right now where it is raining. So it was just nice to have fresh air. Yes, you need a vacation for your vacation. It's just great to slow down because these kind of go together. It's sometimes you get to enjoy fresh air because you slowed down or you were intentional about going outside. And one of the great things about the vineyard is I walk a lot. You walk a lot of places. I have friends that they bike ride a lot of places. I have not gotten brave enough to get on a bike since high school. Maybe if you all encourage me next year, I will get on a bike. Given how my luck was running this year, I'm actually thankful I didn't get on a bike because the rate I was breaking inanimate objects is I feel like at some point I would have just ended up in the urgent care or the ER, which is not what I want to do on vacation. But there's nothing like fresh air and just having that moment. I know a lot of you work from home, or even if you're not working from home, it's easy to just be indoors all the time. And there's something invigorating about just breathing fresh air and then breathing slow enough and deep enough to really take that air in. So I want to encourage you, get that fresh air, take some breaks, actually breathe. The next is relationships grow with effort. One of the kind of cool things is, to me, sometimes the vineyard feels like a family reunion because you see people, there's some folks that you see other times, but then there's some folks that you see, that's when you see them. You see them when you all vacation in the vineyard. And the thing that it reminds me, that made me think of this is I actually, when I go to the vineyard, I spend some time with my old friends that we all used to live in Boston together. Ironically, none of us actually still live in Boston, but it just is a reminder that your best relationships are going to be one that you invest time and energy in. It doesn't have to be you spend every single day with people or you call them every day, you talk all the time, but it's being present when you're together and letting people know that they matter and being there if they call, they need you. But it just is a reminder of all the great people I saw and just all the great energy, is how it's important to nurture relationships and not take them for granted. We're all getting to this age, unless you're one of the super young people watching. And I don't feel like I have the youngest viewers. So all of us are at an age where some people are checking out. So you want to make sure that you actually, either when you check out or people check out, you did right by them. I know, I did not mean to take a morbid turn. Number 4, surprises are everywhere. You just never know what the surprise is going to be. You just never know. Some examples of random surprises I had. We went to a Japanese restaurant. Now, I usually don't go to Japanese restaurants on the vineyard. I'm usually trying to get my lobster life. We went to a Japanese restaurant and I had the best poke bowl. And then they're like, oh, we went and caught that tuna this morning. The other was I had a mocktail with matcha. That was probably the best cold drink I've ever had in life. I remember walking down the street and we were leaving the beach and my friends had to use the bathroom. So we stopped by someplace with a friend I knew and then said hey to somebody I knew and then realized my good friend was actually in the house. You just never know the surprises and just what's going to happen on a walk or what you're going to find. And to me, that vacation is kind of everything just kind of happens and you just kind of roll with it. And how it rolls together is always perfect. But the lesson and surprises are everywhere is what it translates really to is be open to possibilities, be open to opportunities. You just never quite know. And sometimes when you think things are getting rough, you don't know where that little glimmer of light's coming from, but you have to be open to it so that when it shows up, you actually see it. Because one of the things, and one of my big hopes for you is that even though we can't get away from work and adulting, they happen, is to have that space that you actually can get some joy out of the days and eke some things that you enjoy out of each day. And a lot of times, sometimes you'll get caught off guard by something. I want you to be ready for it. The next is each day is another opportunity. I broke everything. Slowed down, didn't break anything else. But it's just knowing and being open to the fact that you never know where the opportunity is going to come from, who you're going to meet, what opportunity is going to come up. I mean, I didn't expect to have a really good conversation as I'm boarding a Cessna. One of them little joints where they ask everybody their weight and you get embarrassed when you have to tell them what your weight is, and then they sit and they place you on a plane. Yeah, I did that. But I want you to be aware that each day is another opportunity. And if a day is a little rough, be open to the possibility that as the day goes on, it could get better and that the next day can be better. Because, I am a believer in the law of attraction that if you anticipate and you expect it to be bad, the universe is going to give you what you're asking for. So I want you to be open and remember that each day is an opportunity. Like the bonus is the little things make all the difference. And one of the things that makes this vacation great are all those little things, the walks. I went the day that we were going to the beach. So people had to use the bathroom. And if you haven't been to the Vineyard, that I call them bathroom opportunities. You have to be very aware and take advantage of an opportunity to go to the bathroom, especially if you are walking around and not by your house. So, because a lot of the businesses don't have public restrooms. So they'd gone to this salad spot that actually had the most inspirational things on the wall of the bathroom. Who knew you get inspiration from the toilet? So just sometimes those little things, the walks I had there, the conversations. I was at a fundraiser and I went to get some more fruit, ran into Malik Yoba and was able to have a conversation about my good friend that passed that I miss dearly. So it wasn't really about having a conversation with a celebrity. He had actually known him. And one of the biggest things that we went to with my friend before he passed was an event for NAMI LA where he spoke and he keynoted it with Malik Yoba. So just having these little moments and all the walks and the air and all the things and the conversations and the new people. It's just all those little moments and all those little things. And, I'm a huge fan of the little things. It's one of the reasons why I take opportunities to have coffee cups to drink my tea out of that make me very happy. So it's probably it's not a surprise somebody bought me one that says happiness is. Because to me, it is so important to be able to take advantage of every opportunity for joy. So thanks for coming. Let's start getting this wrapped up because we've been here a little while. Quality time. So thanks again for coming. I'm just happy to have you here. So if you know someone that needs this, please share. If you know someone that needs this, please tag. And if you're watching it later, put a hashtag replay in the comments. No biggie. We're about to do a little review, but then also if you want to go back to the beginning, you can. No rule against it. No rule against it. All right. Let's see if I can find what I am looking for because I feel like, did I put it in here? I thought I did. There we go. We are here for the review. If I can hit the right button. You ready? Let's do this. So my 5 lessons from Martha's Vineyard, because that's one of my favorite vacations. Yes, yes. And thank you very much. Thank you very much. Is that number 1 is to slow down. Sometimes you just have to slow down, take a breath, and not try to do all the things. Sometimes all the things is not what you need to be doing. Number 2, there's nothing like fresh air. I know there's also nothing like sea air, but there's nothing like fresh air. Sometimes you just got to do it. The next one is relationships grow with effort. Do not take people for granted and nurture relationships. It will serve you professionally and personally. And sometimes those professional relationships become personal, and sometimes those personal relationships become professional. You just never know. The next one is you never know who or what will surprise you. You never know who you're going to meet. You never know that fun fact you're going to learn about somebody. You never know what's right around the corner. So just be open to those surprises and opportunities because each day is another opportunity. If it gets a little rough or ragged, doesn't mean it's going to stay that way. Each day is an opportunity to be great. Each day is an opportunity to be better. And the little things make all the difference. So don't count out the little things, but you also have to be aware enough to even see the little things. So thanks so much for coming. Growth Groove, I always love doing it. It shows up on Tuesdays. The new episode of the podcast should be dropping soon. I can't talk. Features Wendy Tilford. I'm so excited to have you. If you don't know me, I'm your host, Dr. Ericka, Harvard-trained, double board certified psychiatrist and integrative lifestyle coach. I am on a mission to help you be better, do better, live better. I do that through my adult telepsychiatry, my books, my podcast, Better with Dr. Ericka, and my speaking and consulting. I do all of this to help busy people like you that show up for everybody. I do this to put you back in your life. Thank you so much for coming. You know, you can find me here Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern, but we will probably take next Tuesday off or do a replay because I will be visiting my family and it's the day after Labor Day. So trying to make sure that I am present and when I'm actually doing quality time with my family. And that's what that is. And it just brings me so much joy to spend time with you. Take your left hand, put on your right hand, left arm, give yourself a squeeze. I give myself a bigger squeeze, but I just started working out. So I'm very sore, but I'm determined. You know, as we said, every day is a new opportunity and I haven't been working out. So every day is an opportunity for me to change it. So I've been working on changing that. So I want to encourage you to find joy where you can, stay open to opportunities because you know what? You deserve it. You deserve a great life. You were put here for one. So also, let's say, where can you find me? I feel like we are doing all the things today, all the things. So I mentioned the podcast. You can find it on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, or Better the Podcast. That's Better with Dr. Ericka. If you're interested in me actually being your psychiatrist or your therapist, you can go to goodwinmed.com, goodwinmed.com. Look forward to seeing you the week after next. I'll probably put up a replay so you can still see my face on the internet. But thank you so much for trusting me and spending quality time with me. Till next time. Have a better day and check out the podcast. Bye.